Las Vegas, Nevada for the 2024 NHL Draft. It is approximately 174 degrees outside. That's why we're shooting this indoors. And I am joined by Daryl Evans, who I assume has joined me straight from an all-nighter at the roulette table. Daryl, how you doing here this morning?
I'm doing great, Zach. You know what? I did visit the roulette table. It was not an all-nighter, but I was up bright and early this morning, went out for a run while it was cool outside. And when I say cool, I mean high 80s.
Well, I hear up. Does that mean up on the table, or were you just awake?
Up on the table and awake.
Okay, well, you've made some very good decisions, clearly. Hopefully the LA Kings make some very good decisions in round one of the NHL Draft. First time the Kings have picked in round one since 2021. How exciting is it to be back in the first round and to have something to do here on day one?
It's always exciting. I think when you get a first-round pick, it gives the scouting staff maybe a little bit more incentive to really, do their homework because, it's an opportunity to select a player that high in the draft that has got the potential to play maybe a little bit quicker than some of the other kids that you'll get later on down the draft. So that's an exciting time, and I know the guys have been talking about it for quite a while, so we'll see how it all plays out, but definitely nice to be back in that first round.
A few years ago, the prospect pool for the Kings, maybe the best in the NHL. A lot of those guys have now graduated. They're NHL players. We're seeing them on the roster right now. How are the Kings going to go about trying to replace some of those guys? Maybe what's a little bit of the strategy heading into day one?
Well, I think when you look at what they've done with that depth pool over the last few years, it's great to see the guys now starting to evolve and taking on roles. First it was like on a tryout basis, a couple of games here and there. And now this next season coming up, we expect a few of the players to take a more established type of role and identify themselves as role players. I think for the young guys that they'll now be looking at in this pool, it'll be to fill those holes that, down in the minors within a couple of years and things like that. The Kings do have an outstanding development department. They've done a great job. And I really respect the patience the Kings show with these young players. Again, a lot of these players that are being drafted, today and then again tomorrow, they have the ability to play in the National Hockey League. There's a lot of good players. But I think when you patiently allow them to be able to mature and grow correctly, you're going to get a better product, and they're going to be there to stay when they do make it.
We look at the draft always from the Kings' perspective. What do the Kings need to add? What are they going to do with their picks? But this is a special day for all of these young guys who are here at the draft, right? How cool of a day or of a 2 days is this for these kids who are going to ultimately realize their dreams of being drafted into the NHL?
Well, Zach, it's not too cool. It's about 108 degrees outside.
That's true.
But no,
174, I think. Yeah.
174. Yeah, it's going to warm up a little bit. But no, you know what? It is an amazing day for these young kids. First of all, to be able to come to a destination like Las Vegas, go to the Sphere, which is an unbelievable building, and, potentially get yourself drafted, up high in the NHL. It's a dream come true for these kids. Kids are here from all over the world. As an individual, some of the guys will have their families with them. For them to be able to be part of it, these are people that have supported them throughout their entire career. So it is a special day, and you get to see your peers out there, players that you've banged heads with for the last number of years, and you might end up on the same team. So it really is a cool perspective, and hopefully it plays out, and everybody's be able to live out their dreams and eventually get to play in the National Hockey League.
Hopefully it does play out, Daryl. Day one of the NHL Draft today at 4 p.m. Pacific from a circular-shaped building in Las Vegas on ESPN. We'll see you then.